Content warning. The following episode contains topics that might be triggering to some listeners. The episode includes discussion of parental death, murder and suicide, mentions of gun violence, funerals and grieving, and family disputes, including implied homophobia. Please listen with caution.
Hamlet. Hamlet, it's time to go.
He didn't kill himself, Horatio. There's no way. My father, he loved my mother. He loved me. But he also loved himself. He wouldn't destroy something he loved.
Hamlet,
I'm not ready.
it's pouring rain, Ham. You're gonna catch a chill and we're missing the wake.
So go. Get out of the rain. But I'm not leaving.
Fine.
Feely, wait. Don't go yet. I know suicide doesn't sit right with you. You've told us. We know. We're not ignoring you. You showed me your dad's appointment book. You had a packed week coming up. But you never know what's going on behind the scenes. If the police say it was suicide...
Then the police are wrong. The man they sent out was a bastard and a half. And you say you're listening to me, but you're not. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think. Don't just get dragged along with what everyone else says. I know my father, probably better than anyone else on this planet. Me telling you that he didn't kill himself is just as good as my father himself saying it. We were like one person in two separate bodies. We thought the same, felt the same, spoke the same. There's a reason he's dead, and his own hand damn well isn't it.
What are we supposed to do, Hamlet? I have been listening. I've been listening to every word you've said since he died. But it's in direct contradiction to every official version out there. If we're talking about understanding, then you also need to understand that Horatio and I are in a pretty confusing position ourselves. I want more than anything to believe you.
But it's hard. You're right. We know grief can rattle people, make them act irrationally and emotionally. Stress, too, has that effect. And I'm nothing if not stressed. But I'm asking you as friends to please believe me. Suspend your disbelief, even for a moment. What I'm saying isn't impossible. In fact, it's rational. My father ran one of the largest business empires in the continental United States. He was CEO and largest shareholder, so he basically was Denmark Inc. Take him out, and that's a lot of power up for grabs. It's not insane to think that's what happened here. People have been killed for far less.
You think he was murdered?
What do you think I mean every time I say it wasn't suicide?
An accident? I don't know, but that's a big accusation to throw around.
Which is why I'm only throwing it around with people I trust. I can trust you, right?
Absolutely.
Feely?
Of course. But what are we supposed to do with this? If your father was murdered, we have no way to prove it. Just your word and his double-booked appointment calendar.
You could hire a private investigator.
Can't. Accounts are frozen until the will is read.
I'll put it on my American Express.
I'm not a charity case, Ophelia.
But you could be. The offer stands.
What about us? We could do some digging. Probably not very effectively, but getting a hold of that calendar would be a start.
I was hoping one of you would come to that conclusion. I'm ready to go to the wake now. Look at them. Vultures, all of them.
Little harsh.
Not really. Bet you 20 they're all talking about the will, discussing who will get what so they can start getting cozy with the main recipient ahead of time.
You two are cynical as hell.
You can be rich, or you can have a positive outlook on humanity. Never both.
Jesus Christ.
Incoming asshole at 3 o'clock.
Oh, great. He's here.
You finally made it. Father's been looking everywhere for you, and people have started to talk. And I'm sure they'll do so even more now that you've turned up with the help.
Good to see you again, too, Larry.
Ugh. Father this, father that. Just say dad like the rest of us. Or are you too good for such plebeian language now? And seriously, for the last time, Horatio is not the help. Just because he got a job at Denmark doesn't make him a lackey. Not sure why I'd expect you to understand the concept of having a friend, but...
Stop that, Ophelia. Sarcasm doesn't become you.
Just like that mustache doesn't become you. Look, piss off, Laertes, and tell Dad I'll find him when I well and good have time. But right now, I'm supporting my friend. Got it?
Would you like me to pass that on verbatim?
Actually, I think I would.
I'm sure he'll be delighted. Horatio, keep my sister out of trouble, and there's a tip in it for you.
I'm not Feely's keeper, and I don't need your money.
Do either of you see my mother anywhere?
Maybe she went upstairs? With all the love possible, she didn't look well at the funeral.
I wouldn't really expect her to. I suppose there's nothing to do but straighten our ties and brave the rabid horde before us.
What about me?
What about you?
I'm not wearing a tie and I'm not straight. What am I supposed to do?
Only you could pull that joke off at a funeral of all places. I do really love you, even if it's not in the way we let everyone think. Both of you. You're good friends to me even when I'm angry and snap at you. I don't deserve you.
It's not about what you deserve, man. We're here for you.
Thank you.
Do you know him?
No, but that doesn't mean much. Seems like everyone who ever worked with my dad for half a second is here.
He's not dressed like a fancy businessman.
Get rich enough and you can wear what you want, like Zuckerberg.
I didn't think your dad liked Mark Zuckerberg.
Ah, shit, he's coming over here. Let's move. We haven't even made it properly inside yet.
Too late.
Excuse me, could I trouble you folks to tell me where I might find the man of the house?
I suppose that's me.
Ah, nice to meet you. Call me Claudius.
What can I do for you, Mr. Claudius?
That's the thing. I'm not sure exactly how to say this. It's going to sound absurd, no matter how I put it.
Oh?
I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm your father's brother, which makes me...
An uncle.
My father was an only child.
Thank you for stopping by, but I'm afraid this is a closed service, and life is not actually a soap opera, so nobody's buying what you're selling.
That's a fair reaction. I wouldn't blame you for giving me the good old bum's rush, but I'm telling you the truth. Let me prove it to you.
How do you propose to do that?
Your name is Hamlet Prince. You're 27 years old, and you studied at Wittenberg University in Germany.
All of that is on the internet.
Your mother's name is Gertrude. She and your father were married 32 years ago in Barcelona. Your grandfather...
Again, all on the internet. At the risk of being rude, I need you to leave now.
I promise you, I'm telling the truth.
Claudius? Claudius, is that you?
Dad, now's not really a good time.
Polonius, you're still hanging around here?
Dad, you know this guy?
Not now, Ophelia. How did you hear about this, Claudius? I haven't heard from you in, more than 30 years?
Oh, closer to 35, I expect. And I never stopped keeping an eye on the family. Even if they didn't want me around, I still cared about their well-being. And when I found out that all wasn't well, I figured it was worth the risk of rejection to stop by.
How do you know my father?
I said not now, Ophelia.
And you have a daughter. She's absolutely lovely. We've very briefly met.
Yes, lovely, yes. She's seeing your nephew, you know. A proposal wouldn't surprise me.
It would surprise us.
Delightful.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt the reunion happening in my living room. My father had a brother? How come I've never heard of you?
And why have you never come here before, if you don't mind my asking?
Actually, we do.
Answer Horatio's question too.
I'll gladly answer any and all questions you have, Hamlet. Maybe after the wake.
Right now will work fine. The wake was just about over, anyway.
I'll go let people know that.
Feely?
I'll drive Horatio home. Text me if you need anything. A snack, company, a gun.
Thank you, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Tell me when you get home safe.
Of course.
Come straight home. We need to talk, Ophelia.
Oh, sir, yes, sir.
Mr. Claudius?
Please. Just Claudius.
Sure. Claudius. You and I can talk in the kitchen.